Hello, a great welcome to Idea Statica tutorial. Myself Jayarajan P. This is tutorial number 12. Here I will demonstrate the modeling and analysis of a typical bolted joint connection of a tubular space truss. The notched and capillate connections are used in the same joint for illustration. So now let us start Idea Statica tutorial number 12. So let us start from a blank project. So as usual, let us just put the name. So we'll just write down joint design tubular space truss. So in the description you can write down so water connection, and here we will choose S355 grade steel and M24 bolts, and the design code will be kept as a European code. So let us create the project. So let us start creating the various tube members required for the connection. So we'll just add create member. So here we'll choose a tube member directly, and that is we'll keep the diameter as 200. So that is known as a CHS 220, and let us keep the thickness as 20 mm. So and the material will be kept as 355. So this is a vertical tube member size, so that's okay. So let us start editing other parameters if required. So for example, for this we want this to be a vertical member, so we'll keep it as centered, and we'll keep the angled gamma, that is as -90, so that this will be vertical, and we'll keep the EX so that we can accommodate other members as -200. So EX as we'll keep it as a -200, okay, and other offsets will be kept as 0, and the other parameters will not change. So that is all about the vertical member. So this is a vertical member that is generated now. So this tutorial basically consists of 4 diagonal members that are in space connected to a vertical tube member. I'll just explain only the development of 2 members, which involves both a notched connection as well as a capillate connection, and the other 2 members can be generated in the same way. So let us start generating the 2 members first. So we'll just add a member. So here before going to this, we'll, as usual, we'll change this to, we'll rename it so that we can easily identify these members later. So we'll call it as a v1, okay, and this member, this member will call it as m2, and let us now add another member, and let us, that is m3, m2 and m3. We have added 2 members. Now let us start editing each of these members. m2, so this will choose it as a rolled section. So let us start adding this member. So in the rolled section we'll go, and so that we can have see, we'll choose the CHS 139.7. so this is 139.7 by 5, so the thickness is 5, that's okay. So and the material grade will be as 355, that's okay. And let us start changing other parameters, and this will be ended. And here gamma will be 45 degrees. Gamma will keep it as a 45 degrees because it is making an inclination of 45 degrees with a horizontal, so that's okay. And the parameters EX, let us change it to say 225, so that we can accommodate other members properly in the connection. 225 EX, and let us keep EZ as -100. So we'll keep it as EZ as -100. So let us have it as a -100 here, and then these members will keep it as carrying only NBY and VZ. So we have generated the second member. So this is so as you can see, this is a member that is inclined at 45 degree in space with a horizontal plane. So let us generate in the same way M3 also. M3 also, what we can do is we can just add a new cross section, so that that is a circular scroll session. As usual, we want this to be 139.7, so we can also copy the other section as well. So we'll keep it as 139.7 by 5. Okay, that's okay. And the S355 will be maintained all throughout. And let us just change, the angles so that we can orient it properly. So that beta for this number will keep it as 90 degrees, and the gamma, that will be rather we'll keep it as 45 degrees. That will be 45 degrees, and then we'll have the EX as a 200. So we can keep it as a 200, and then we can keep EZ as minus 100. EZ will keep it as a minus 100, and as usual here also we'll choose an NBYBZ connection. So that's okay. So let us just see the model. So we have properly generated two diagonal numbers and a vertical number. So now it's time that we start providing the proper manufacturing operations. So let us first start creating the manufacturing operations. We will add a stiffening member, okay, to the vertical member. So look here. So just a minute. Look here, we have got one vertical and two diagonal members. Now it is important that we arrange or perform the proper manufacturing operations to achieve the required connection. So first we'll add a what we call as a stiffening member. So let us just perform the manufacturing operation. So here, as you can see, this is the stiffening member. So we'll just press it, and here is the stiffening member. So let us start providing the proper sizes for the stiffening member. So here what we do is, for the stiffening member, here as you can see, it's a tube. We want to provide only a plate only. So we can select the size of the plate. So we can just add it over here, and we can select a plate of required dimension. So we can add it here, and this is a plate of, we want to create a plate of say 15 mm thick. So we'll just change the suitable dimension 15 mm, and this dimension we'll keep it as 160 mm, and the material grade will be the same. So that's okay. And let us start editing other dimensions. You can see that it is now converted into a plate. And now let us start arranging all the dimensions. L1 will keep it as -10. Please remember that all these parameters are to be predetermined. Okay, then only we will start using modeling them. So it is -10, and then we can have it as L2 as 300. So we'll have 300, and we'll keep EX as a -200, so that it can be properly accommodated between the members. So EX is, we'll keep it as a -200, and EY will keep it as a -100, and the offset is equal to 10 mm. So 10 mm, that's good enough. So we find that the plate is generated, but we need to arrange its orientation through the rotation parameters, that is through the beta, alpha angles, etc. So let us keep beta as for this as -90 here, and then we have gamma as -45, because it has to be aligned in the same direction, -45, and this alpha will keep it as a 90 here for this example, 90. So you can say that now. Just rotate, just so look here. So you can say that it is okay. This is stiffening member. It is properly aligned along with the tube. That is very clear from this view. Okay, so we have all this rotation parameters being mentioned properly. It is verified. So the positions will keep the same. So we have now this stiffening member as some 1. So for our convenience, let me just keep it as rename it as a sim2, as some 2. So because I've got all other parameters related to this member, so let me just keep it as a some2, okay, fine. Now as you can see that this member, okay, this stiffening member, it has gone inside this vertical member. So let us now perform a cut manufacturing operation. So So we'll just add another manufacturing operation, that is a cut. So this is the cut one. Okay, so that's already done here. So we need to arrange the parameters. Let us, for example, rename it as a cut2 because we are performing it on the member SM2. So all this renaming is done for your convenience. So this is cut2. Okay, and obviously we know that the cut2 need to be performed on the member SM2, right? On the member SM2. So this has to be on the member SM2 because stiffening is also identified under the member, and we can have it as so we'll keep it as at the end, and obviously this has to be cut by the vertical member, so we'll keep it as a vertical member v1. Okay, and all this, the bounding box, close parallel, all will keep the same, and the wells, let us keep in both cases as 4 mm, so we'll not change it anything. So as you can see, now that the cut is properly applied, so we have properly connected. Yes, you can see that it is, see, this stiffening plate is now properly welded. Okay, the stiffening member, which is having the shape of the plate cross section, it is now properly welded to the vertical member. And if you see the inside of this vertical tube, you will find that the member is properly cut. Okay, so now it is important that we model what we call as a connecting plate to another manufacturing operation. And so here it will be the connecting plate. So let us just straight away go for another operation, that's a connecting plate. So let us see. So this is a cut-off plate. So we can have this is a connecting plate. Okay, so in the connecting plate, obviously we'll choose because we require the bolts as well. So let us straight away go for M24 8.8 bolts. That's okay. So we have now the connecting plate CPL. So let us just rename it. So we know that it is just rename it. Rename. So call it as CPL2. CPL2. Now in order to check, okay, the changes that are taking place during the modification. Let us just zoom this. So just rotate it a little bit. Yes. So this is the right position so that we can see all the development. So let us start filling the details of connecting plate CPL2. So we have a member as M3. So let us keep it as M3. Okay, and then it is connected to a member plate. So it is connected to a member plate. We will call it as a member plate, and the corresponding member will be it will be our SM2, and then it's a bottom flange will keep, and the exposition we will change it to say 10 mm. So this will be 10 mm, and then we'll keep the material as 355, and the thickness we will keep it as 15 mm. That's good enough for us, 15 mm, and the location will be kept as the front, and the type will be taken as a notched plate. So this is a notched plate rectangle we will see. Okay, so you can see that a notch is cut, and now the plate will need to be welded to the tube. So it's a notched plate assembly. So let us fix the size of the plate. The length of the plate will be kept as 90 mm. So this is 90 mm, 90 mm, and the plate width will keep it as 160. So this will be kept as 160 mm, 160 mm, and the overlap between the two, that is the SM, that is the stiffening plate member, as well as this connecting plate will be kept as 125. So let us just change it to 125, and so the plate width will be 160, 160, and this will change it to 125, 125, and the plate eccentricity will keep it as 0, and this will be a border connection. And now let us keep the weld sizes. So we'll keep the weld as both sides fillet weld of 4 mm with as 355 plate steel. That's good enough, and the length of the inside weld will be keeping as 0. Now coming to the bolts, so let us just fix the positions of the bolts now. So that we'll have M24 8.8 bolts, and the reference will be the member x-axis, and the rows positions we will keep it as minus 35 70. So this will be my minus 35 70. So this will be my 70, and then we have got the positions. Let us keep the position as 35. This is my 35. Okay, and it will be a regular one, and my bearing intention will apply. So we have finally modeled the so-called connecting plate, which is basically of a notched type, right? It is a notched plate. So you can just see how does it look like. So this is my plate. So it is on the other side. Okay, you can see that it is a notch plate. Okay, this is a notch plate that we have just now modeled, and is connected to the existing the stiffening member by means of the two rows of bolts. And you can also see the other side. Yes. So yes, so this is the plate that is being right now modeled, which is we call it as a connecting plate, and this has been connected by means of two bolts. Okay, fine. So now let us go for the generation of other manufacturing operations for the other member. So that is for the member M2. So first of all, let us copy our SM2 to the other manufacturing operation. So this will be, so just copy this. For member M2, we'll generate a new stiffening member. So we'll add a new manufacturing operation. So this is basically a stiffening member. So we can call it as, so this is my stiffening member. Okay, so we need to change its size. So this stiffening member will be of a size, basically it's a plate of 15 by 160. So let us just add it. So we have it as a plate of, there's a plate. So we can call it as of a 160 width. So 160 width, and it's of a thickness of 15 mm. So let us just change it 15 mm, and the grade will be as 355. That's okay. And then let us start filling all the dimensions. So L1, let us keep it as a 20 mm. So L1 will be 20 mm, and then L2 will keep for this example as a 300. So this will be my 300, and then we'll keep all the offsets properly. So let us keep the offset EX as a minus 200 here, minus 200, so that we can properly house the connection. And then we are going to let us keep the EY as minus 100, minus of 100, and we shall keep EZ as a 10, EZ as a 10 mm. Okay, then all the beta angles are not to be now to be specified. So let us keep the beta is equal to say 180 degrees. 180 degrees 180 degrees, because we know that it is not being properly oriented. So we shall orient it by using these angles, and the gamma will keep it as a minus 45. So this is my minus 45, and then we have alpha as 90 degrees. We'll keep it as 90. So and all other XYZ insert will keep the same, and the position will be defined by the rotations. So now we need to change the orientation. Look here, because it seems that it need to be properly oriented. Look here, yes. So let us just rotate it. So you can see that yes, the stiffening plate, okay, the stiffening member SM, okay, meant for the tube member M2, you can say that it is aligned properly. That need to be checked up from the orientation angles. So having done that, you know that it is also going inside this vertical member V1. So let us just do another cut manufacturing operations. So in this case, it is better that we just straight away copy this, and this is cut 3. And cut 3, obviously, this is the member involved is not SM2. It is my, the member will be SM3, and I will cut it as the end part of it, and this needs to be cut by the vertical member V1, and so all these things will be the same. And in this case, we need to mention the weld thickness also, and that will be 4 mm on all the sides. So you can see that it is being properly applied. Okay, the cut operation is properly applied. Now it is important that we start defining the manufacturing operation required for the connecting plate for member M2, and this connecting plate will be chosen as a cap type plate. So let us simply copy this CPL2, that's a connecting plate, so that we can make the other one. So it's a copy, and let us CPL3. So in CPL3, let us start fixing all the parameters required for its definition. So here, obviously, the member will be not M3, it will be my M2. It will be my M2, and it will be my member. It's connected to the member plate, and the member plate will be my not. It is not my SM2. It should be my SM3. SM3, and it need to be connected to the bottom flange. And now let us specify the connection. So the X position will keep it as 10 mm and as 355 is okay for us. And the thickness in this case as a cap, we may not require a 10 mm. We may require only a lesser one, not 15 mm. So let us change it to 10 mm. Okay, and the alignment will keep it as the rear. So we'll keep it as the rear alignment. And in this case, it is important. It is not a notched one. We want to generate a different kind of a connecting plate. That's a cap plate. So it's a cap plate. You can see that the middle it is being changed, and let us now define the corresponding the plate length. Plate length. Let us change it to say 100 mm. So 100 mm, and the plate width, let us keep it as a 160 mm, no change. And the plate eccentricity, let us keep it as 0. And the thickness of the cap also, let us keep it as 10 mm is good enough. And all the other parameters will be the circle is okay, and it's a bolted type connection. Now let us specify the welds. The first weld we will keep it as say 4 mm. That is for the cap plate. So let us keep it as a 4 mm. That's the one side. That's good enough. And the tongue we'll keep it as a 4 mm. That is both sides fillet weld. That is good enough. Now it is the only what is required is that we need to mention the bolt position. It will be all M24 bolts, and the rows will keep it as a minus 3570, and the position will be the will keep it a little bit larger here. So let me keep it as a 45. Okay, so that's okay. So you can see that it is properly generated. So let us see how the connection looks like. So look here, this is the cap plate connecting plate, and you can see that the cap plate connecting plate, it is welded using the fillet welds with a tube member, and then it is bolted with the so-called stiffening member. So we have modeled both the connecting plate as well as the stiffening member for both the members. In a similar way, we will model all the balanced two members. So the completed member is member model is shown here. So regarding the load effects, we have applied a axial tensile load of 200 kilonewton for members with a cap plate, as well as an axial load of 100 kilonewton for members with a notched connecting plate. So the model is already run, and the analysis is displayed here. So you can see that the analysis is performed for 100% of the loads. And regarding the plates, the strains have gone a little bit higher. That's 0.3, but it's less than 5 percentage. And the boards are the utility ratio is 89.1 percentage. And the welds, you will find that it is almost 100 percentage utilization ratio. So let us quickly go and check which are the components which are critically stressed. So immediately let us go for the plastic strain. So the distribution of the plastic strain is shown here. Okay, here you can see that some of the welds, let me just zoom it. Yes, some of the welds and some of the connecting plates are a little bit highly stressed. So let us just quickly go through. So this is my analysis. So it is performed for 100% of the loads, and these are the non-conformity additional loads that is taken into the model. They are small values. So regarding the plates, let us quickly go through which plate is very critical for us. So you can find that this is the CPL1, wherein you will find that the plastic strain have reached to a level of 0.3 percentage, and this is a 0.3 percentage somewhere here. So you will find that so the corner, okay, which connects the plate with that tube, that is severely strained. The strain has gone up to the level of say 0.3 percentage. And coming to the bolts, let us quickly go. We know that the bolts have taken to 89.1 percentage. So let us see which are these bolts. So it's 89.1. Yes, this is my bolt, and we find that the bolts corresponds to the one that is connecting the cap plate assembly to my stiffening plate, and looks something like this. So yes, this is my plate. Okay, and these are the bolts. Okay, that have utilized up to 89.1 percentage. That's all regarding the bolts. Now coming to the welds. So let us find out which welds are very critical for us, and if required, so we can quickly go through the plastic strains that is accumulated, that's a site PL. So on going through the site PL, we find that is a 3.5% here. Yes. So we find that the important welds are nothing but the circular welds only. So as we have seen over here, okay, you can just have a look. Yes, this is wells. Okay, maybe that in this case, to reduce the strain levels on the wells, which we have seen that is going up to say 3.5%, maybe that we may have to increase the size of the weld that is used to connect the cap plate with the tube. So that's all about the result summary. So you can similarly obtain a report. So please go for subscribing the channels, and your valuable comments are very important to us, and we are going to load much more complex joints into the channel. So that's all. So thanks a lot for your patient listening, and have a nice day.